A funny thing happened to me on my way to invading Earth. I am your worst nightmare. Believe that.
What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
Woo! Happy New Year. We have a brand new show. We are live, and we are going to be talking to 2/3 of the creative team of the Masked Children. That is Victor Claudio and Ralph Hernandez. So they're coming up next, so stay tuned.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer, Medina. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Happy New Year. We are back with another live episode of Catch the Craze. Damn, dude. I mean, we've had shows every week, but we haven't done live shows in a while since, I'm going to say, last year.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be back. We're doing this again.
It feels
we are
good.
live tonight. Yeah, it does, man. And we've crushed the 500 mark on subscribers.
What?
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for that. All 504 of you, thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the bell if you want notifications. You don't have to hit the bell, but definitely subscribe, because the bell will just let you know when we're live. But yeah, what's going on, Sammy? Happy New Year, bro. How you doing?
What's up? I just been grinding, working on duty. Duty's doing his thing. It's been all about the Dudarius himself, and
yes,
he's putting me to work. Duty's like, yo, he's right behind me just watching. See those big eyeballs? He's watching me, yo. It's like,
big eyeballs.
who's that looking in my window? Pal.
Duty's watching your
Nobody
back, son.
now. Yeah, Duty's acting up. Yeah, just working on that, and getting ready for the launch next month. Can't believe it's next month for the launch of There's an Alien in My Toilet. I'm excited about that.
That's right, man.
There's,
That's right.
There's covers A through E.
I'm not gonna do variants anymore. That's it. No more variants for me. And all of a sudden,
we got the Matrix cover. We got the Rambo cover. We got the Homage, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover. We got the George Medina cover, and we got the Masiak Emperor cover. So
bro, you sound like Cheech in From Dusk Till Dawn right now. You're like, we got this beat, this, that, this.
It's crazy. You know what? It's funny because there was 3 other covers I was gonna do, right? And, we talked about. So I'm saving that for the next campaign. It's a trilogy cover that you have to get. I was like, I'm gonna wait on that one because I got enough covers. Because I was like, I'm gonna have so many covers. But you know what? These covers are no joke. So I'm excited about these covers. The Matrix cover came out hot. My colorist, she did her thing. The same colorist did the Rambo cover, and she's finishing up the Homage to the Turtles cover. So she's on fire right now, and so I'm excited about it. There's the Can We Get Some Dusk Till Dawn cover? I'll give you Dusk Till Dawn. What's up, San Martino in the his ass?
Happy New Year to Michael San Martino. What's going on, my man? As always, he's here representing. Thank you, my brother. Hey, for those who are watching right now, make sure you hit up technigods.com. How's that book doing, Mike? How's everything going with the book? Let us know.
Check the cookies.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, brother, that's awesome. That's awesome. And real quick, before we continue, just want to let everybody know we are going to have a live guest today on the show. It's going to be the team behind the Masked Children, which is it's not a comic book. It's actually it's our first NFT guest. Let's put it like that. It's our first NFT guest. They're going to be talking to us about their venture into the NFT world. So we're going to have Victor Claudio and Rafael Hernandez on the show. They're going to be talking to us about that. But yeah, bro, so yeah, Duty, man, is doing his thing. So February 15th, that's the other thing. February 15th is when the launch will actually happen, and we will be live for that. So make sure you get notified. Make sure you get notified. The link should be in the show notes. So make sure you click on that so you can follow along, get notified when the bad boy goes live.
Yes, and I noticed that we have, I can't pronounce it, Naben Habkab.
I see that.
Red, welcome.
Interesting,
Welcome. But yeah. So Duty's on its way. We got the coloring book, we got the guidebook, we got the 5 covers, we have the trading card game. A lot of great stuff coming with Duty. And then George put me on mute. That's why I couldn't hear him. And I was like, yo, it went silent. I was like, yo, I was like, what the hell just happened here? And I was like, oh, he put me on mute. So
I got control of that. Say word.
No, you put yourself on mute, and that's why I couldn't hear anything in the background.
Wait, I put myself on mute?
I guess because I couldn't hear you.
Not. I hope not.
And on top of that, the Adventures of Wonder Duck, the page is live.
Yeah, dog.
And it's moving fast. I mean, you're piling them up.
Bro, I've been posting about that thing since like 2 months ago. I've been doing it. Like I've been posting that it's going live on January 4th forever. And thank you everyone who has already been signed up to be notified. It's going to be a little while, so, hang in there.
Yeah, it's in May. So by the time he launches in May, he should have like 2,000 people signed up.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But for all of those who signed up, and this is what I was telling you earlier before, so check this out. And big shout out to Miss Raina 1000.
Welcome.
Yes, she's new here, or he's new here, I'm not sure. But thank you so much for joining us on the stream live. And so... And for those who just started watching, like Sam said, the Adventures of Wonder Duck is also the pre-launch page is live as of right now, and it will be live until the actual launch in May.
And
but
go
ahead. What happened? Go ahead.
No, and when There's Needle in My Toilet goes live, there'll be a link on that campaign as well, driving traffic to Wonder Duck.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. Thank you. So what I'm going to be doing is for all those who are already signed up to get notified when it goes live, hit me up on Get Your Meds on Instagram. Just DM me there at Get Your Meds with a Z. And give me your email address. I will be sending you guys a PDF, a special PDF for the campaign. Now that PDF will be sent to you right away. As soon as I get your email, boom, you get it sent out. If you do pledge to the campaign when it comes in May, when you get your rewards, you will be getting a printed copy of that PDF print.
Yo, what you trying to... Yo, I gotta go back. Duty, did you hear that? I gotta go back to the studio. This guy's outdoing me already. Oh, hell no.
I told you this today.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, you crazy.
Yo, I'm pulling out all the stops.
So make sure you hit me up that you got notified, and then follow the Adventures of Wonder Duck. Follow the Adventures of Wonder Duck on Instagram.
Yo, I got a Sharpie. Also. Give me your email address. I get you a Sharpie.
But yeah, no, definitely, man. We're trying to have fun with it, so definitely sign up, and then as soon as you do, just hit us up. But yeah, no, listen, man, that's not gonna happen until May. Let's talk about what's happening.
He's that guy. So I opened up a hot dog stand, right? I'm selling my hot dogs, $2 a pop with my popcorn and the soda. George opens up a hot dog. He gets free samples. I'm like, oh, I lost all my business.
Listen, Linda, listen. All I'm saying is, it's important that people get notified, and I want to thank them for it. You know what I mean?
I want to thank you. Oh, Heavenly Father,
So love, baby.
shining your light on me. If we all look under our seats, we will find keys to our new cars. Oprah style. I know, right?
You get a car. You get a
Freaking
car.
guy. I'm over there like, yo. I said, yeah, I'm back at the bank. I need more money. What do you mean? I just got closed out of business. I'm going to open up a cotton candy stand because my hot dog stand ain't working.
Listen, you know what it is? When you have two creative guys working together like this, the only winners are the people.
Yes.
The people win. So
Yes.
this is what we're doing. People
Yes.
are going to be
You
winning.
think he's giving something away? Wait till I get back to the studio.
Tomorrow, you will be getting a
Yeah,
surprise from
that's
Sam.
it. That's it. Going in. I'm going in. Oh, you son of a biscuit eater.
But yeah, no, definitely. Listen.
I need another drink. Thank goodness I got
once-
rum in this.
Once the campaigns go live, it's gonna be on. You guys are gonna love what Sam is doing with Duty. So make sure that you get notified there. You got a nice little number of people following you there. So hopefully, everybody converts over and pledges and
Yes, but I'm hoping to break
hands on
100
it.
backers on this one. So far 36 people signed up. And if you're watching and you signed up, I appreciate every single one of you. There's a really good 48-hour incentive. It's the early bird special, 48 hours. Last time I did 24. This time I'm doing 48 hours.
48 hours.
yeah.
Oh, damn.
So stop acting up.
Gotta go in.
They're still waiting to hear, Sam, we still don't hear free. Where's the free part?
48 hours.
yes,
so
I
you got
got-
a 48-hour bundle.
Yes, I got two 48-hour specials.
look at you.
Big savings, huge savings. So I'm gonna do it for 48 hours. The first, because most people don't forget that it launches, and when they look at the email finally, they're like, oh, it launched, and then they're on the second day. So at least they get 48 whole hours to actually take advantage of the bundle or get a single pledge, a single reward. But the bundles are hot.
Yeah.
You can get all the covers in that one bundle with a significant savings if you would have done it individually.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about that earlier today about the like how you try to keep it down on the covers because it's gonna cost money to print them out later, and we just can't help it. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
It just freaking happens, man. So but can't wait. I can't wait to see those things printed. I'm telling you, that Emperor cover looks so freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
Like that dude, his style fits
Yes.
that perfectly, bro. It just fits perfectly for it. So that's cool.
Yes, Empro came through. Basiak Empro, thank you so much, my brother. He came through, and we will be using Empro down the road for a Cast the Crazies variant cover for the next campaign. But yeah, he came through. Really cool. But I'm really excited. The last cover, the homage cover. I wanted something different, but this time I did an homage to the Ninja Turtles, and because I'm a big fan of them, and that's it. No, I'm excited about it. So what you do on New Year's, bro?
New Year's, I hung out in the apartment. I didn't do anything. I just we have like a little rooftop, so we went up there. It was nice, man. The weather was freaking crazy warm on New Year's Eve here in New York. So
Nice.
we went out there, we hung out. Nothing crazy. No going out, none of that. No friends. I mean, with these variants and stuff, it's kind of hard here in NYC to do anything. But yeah, no, that's all we did. What did you guys do? Did you guys? And I know the wife is back. She's back.
Yeah, it feels good. My wife and my sister. So they both drove out here.
Nice.
Cagney and Lacey. Thelma and Louise. So they drove out here, and my sister was here for Christmas. She just left today. She's back at home now, and we sat outside. We put the fire pit on. We had spiked eggnog. We had king's crab legs and oysters and some Cajun shrimp. We went in. It was party time, and then 10 o'clock we fell asleep.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. We were out. We were like, I was like, yo, it's time to go to bed, baby. I was like, because we were out, because I think it was because we were drinking, and so it makes me sleepy when I drink. I get tired.
Damn, son.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's funny, man. Nah, but that's cool, man. It's a new year. You're in Texas. Man, this is gonna be your first full year in Texas. Are you getting used to it? What's up? You liking it or what?
I love it. I don't miss anything about the East Coast other than the people.
Yeah.
I just miss the friends, the people. I don't miss New York at all, and I don't miss what the previous mayor did there either. So You know, I think he made it a mess. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'd rather be out here. I mean, the only thing that's different is that you wake up in the morning, it's 10 degrees, and then by noon, it's 70 degrees. So, you know, you think you're going to wear a sweater, the next you know, you're taking a suntan. I'm like, that's the only thing you got to get used to, the shock factor of the weather change. But other than that, it's cool.
Nice. Yeah, but I mean, when I went out there, when I did my little pit stop over there, it was cool. I mean, the house is gorgeous, bro. Like, you have a really, you're doing your thing out there with the house.
Thank you.
So, looking forward to going back. Maybe surprising you out there with the guys or something like that and just chilling out. That'd be
come out
dope.
in June. I think it's in June. They got the Fan Expo.
Oh, really?
It's a big one out here. I think it's like 80,000 people.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's huge.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
You know, you guys don't have to worry about a crib.
True that.
I also have army cots. I got stackable army cots.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. But yeah, bro. So yeah, no, everything's cool. I mean, we got big plans for the new year as far as creatively with Catch the Craze and even with the Crazies and with all the stuff we're doing. So for everybody watching, thank you so much for being part of it. And if you just joined us this year, if you're a new subscriber, check it out. We have tons of episodes. What is this? 363, I think we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. We're gonna hit 400 in a couple months.
Yeah, we're gonna be hitting 400 soon. I'm sure we're gonna have a celebration for that. So
crazy.
You know how we do it. It'll be fun.
Oh, but news alert! Everybody who backed Forbidden, I got the email from Mix'em, the printer. They finally shipped it. So it's on its way to me, and all the boxes are laid out. Órale, vato loco! Arroyos Capollos in the house. Yeah, so as soon as it comes here, I have all of the boxes laid out with everybody's names on it. I just got to take everything, pack and put them in the boxes and ship it out. So hopefully if I get it this week, you guys will have it in your hands by the end of next week, earlier than February, because I said you'll get it in February. I'm planning on getting it to you guys sooner, so thank you all so much who supported Forbidden. You'll be getting it soon. All of the digital copies were already sent out to everybody who got digitals. So, we're good.
Nice. Yeah, no, man, that's what's up. Listen, it was all up to the printer at this point, like the book is done. So
Ted Davies in the house.
What's up, Ted? Good evening. Happy New Year. So a lot of people joining.
Yeah, salute to everybody out there. Happy New Year to all of you. We appreciate every single one of you. Two best voices on podcasting. Oh, shucks.
Look at you. Look at Aníbal. Aníbal's eating some pollos for dinner right now.
I know. Thank you. It feels weird. I was talking to George earlier that we haven't done a live show in like over 2 weeks. And this felt weird. It's like, it feels weird coming back. Yes, Happy New Year to you too. But we're excited. So we got one of our guests in the waiting room. We're waiting for the second one. And
nice.
We'll be bringing them on together. And this is exciting. Exciting to be back. We have a whole lineup of guests. And as we're talking, I got an alert from another potential guest that just hit me up. So a lot of campaigns. And so everybody who has a Kickstarter, you want to get on the show, hit us up way in advance because sometimes your Kickstarter is going to end and we can't get you on. So if you hit us up early enough, we can get you on. I've been getting like, I got 5 days left. Can I get on your show? I said, we're already booked. I'm sorry, my bad. So it's like, get us early. We'll get you on.
5 days. Yeah, 5 days left. That's not gonna do it.
It's not gonna do it.
We actually have some appearances coming up on some shows. In the next few, I guess, weeks.
I gotta look because I forgot. I don't know all the dates.
I know. I'll be on Michael Gracia's show, Getting Tuned. So for those who don't know who Michael Gracia is, check it out. It's called Getting Tuned. That's the name of his show, and I'll be on there next Tuesday, talking about what we're doing. As far as not just Wonder Duck, but obviously there's an alien in my toilet, Catch the Craze, and all that other stuff. So pop in there and check us out.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. And then it's funny, Mark Torres, big shout out to Mark Torres. It came from the radio. I'm booked on a show in April. He's like, this is your 3-month or whatever the hell he said, advance just reminder that you will be on the show in April 13th. So that's
I just booked 2 more. I think I got 6 shows lined up. I just booked 2 more. to promote the campaign.
When are you going to be on? Do you know? Do you know when they're happening?
No, I have to go back through all the notes, the DMs to confirm. So if you booked me on your podcast, can you send me those dates again? Because I gotta go through all the notes. I should have wrote them down, but it was at a time when we were burning out shows, and so I couldn't keep up with everything. So I just have to go back because I'm sure one's coming up very soon. I gotta look it up. But with that said, I see both our guests are in the ready room. So we're gonna run to commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna bring in the team behind the mask. What is it, the Masked Children? Yes, it is.
Masked Children.
So let's see. Let's promote the girls from Raging. Here we go.
Hey there. This is Meredith Loughran with Raging. And I wanted to let you know that we encourage and promote independent creators and their projects through organic interaction, consultations, and more. Visit Nita and me at RagingAVC.com for details and contact information. Hit the button.
All right, so we're bringing in our guests. And let me hide this stuff here. It's all over your face. What's up, guys? Oh, look at that. I haven't seen that face in a minute.
What's going on, Sam? How we doing?
What's going on, buddy?
What up, my brother?
Hey, George. How we feeling, brother? How we feeling?
Oh, good. Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and that is Ralph, right, Ralph?
Yes. How's it going?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm
Yes.
George. That's Sam. Welcome, guys. Welcome back, everyone, to Catch the Craze. We are here with 2/3 of the creative team behind the Masked Children. I have so many questions, dude. Like this concept is dope. I like the artwork. I love what you're doing with it, Vic. And for those who don't know, Victor and I go way back. Like the history between Vic and I is crazy. I've known Vic since like high school, and then we lost contact. And all of a sudden, he's into comics. I'm into comics. I'm like, what? We started working with Crazy Comics, and yeah, then that stopped, and now I started doing some more. I'm doing Wonder Duck. He's working with me on some stuff for Wonder Duck. So thank you, Vic. You have been amazing, dude, through all of this. So thank you so much. I wanted to have Anibal on the show, but I think he's a little under the weather at this point. But and I know the other member, right, of the team is not feeling too well, so he wasn't on the show today. Yeah. But yeah, so let's get started, man. So let's start. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. We'll start with Ralph. Ralph, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on the project.
Yes, my name is Ralph Hernandez. I'm the developer on the project, so I basically do mainly the coding. So I worked on that. In my personal life, I don't actually do development. Development is something I did on the side. It's something that I enjoyed. Like 5 years ago, I started teaching myself development, mainly web development and stuff like that. And then, then I started getting into NFTs, which we'll get into later. And then I started developing into that and learning that skill set. And then and I brought Vic on board, and then it just went down a rabbit hole ever since then.
Yeah, I'm following the YouTube channel you guys have, and you got some really cool stuff on there, man. Like some of these stories, for those who don't know, they have what's the name of the YouTube channel? Off the top of my head right here, I don't have it.
The Masked Children.
It is everything's the Masked Children. See,
Yes,
Sam, you love that. Everything is the Masked Children. It's all
That's
all
what I'm
one
saying.
thing.
You know, when you're an indie creator and you got your Twitter that says the Masked Rabbit, and you go to Instagram and says, the Masked Cat. How do I know it's the same one? Keep it consistent. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So no, but that YouTube channel is fun, man. Like the readings that you guys do on those things, creepy as hell. So like, if you're a fan of like that thriller, like that scary stuff, that's the place to go. But so guys, all right, so we're gonna go with you, Vic. Vic, introduce yourself. What do you do, and what's your involvement in the project?
Yeah, so my name is Victor Claudio. I'm a social worker by education and an artist by dreamer. Right? Didn't want to be the starving artist that everybody talked about, so had to do something different. Born and raised in the Bronx, boogie down. For everybody out there. And I'm the artist on this particular project. And Ralph is correct. He introduced me to this world, had no knowledge of, zero knowledge. And this was September 12th, of this year. I'm sorry, last year.
Yeah.
And we've been steadily falling down that rabbit hole ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride so far.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But Ralph, so let me go back to you. Just as far as this coding thing, like, did you always have an interest in coding and websites and stuff like that, or is that something that you said you do it on the side? But like, when did that kind of start? Like, when did you start working on that kind of stuff?
I mean, it's something that I recognize that the software is going to eat the world. Basically, everything is going to be software related. Everything's going to be online. Everything's going to be done through essentially code. Manuals, anything manual is going to start getting slowly weeded out. So it was something I felt it's a skill set I should probably learn, especially if I want to do something more entrepreneurial. I figured that most likely it would involve software in some way, shape, or form. And instead of me having to hire somebody to develop a site for me, hire someone to create a program for me, I could basically have the skill set to do it myself. So I started that journey about 5 years ago. Web development is the easiest route to go through. I mean, there's so many different forms of web development, of software development, but web development was, the easiest entry. And then I started working from that point on. Started writing bots for. At one point, I always liked to flip stuff. It's just something I enjoy doing. So when Supreme, the clothing line, was hot, I started writing bots to scrape the site and actually buy Supreme stuff and then flip it on eBay. And I was doing that. I was using code to just always automate things and make things, fast, better for me. And then I just kept writing code on just to do things that, just to solve problems for me. Like at my day job, I needed to do something with QuickBooks, and I had to format the file, so I wrote code to fix that up for me. So yeah, I always was into coding, and I was good at it. It was fun. It's kind of like solving puzzles, and that's just something that I always did. So.
It's funny, man, the lingo and the terminology. Like, I remember when we started doing this thing, it was like TIFFs and JPEGs and terabytes and this and that. Now you're talking about scrubbing bots and doing all these things. It's funny because I was talking to this young man yesterday. I was at a Nick game yesterday. I met this kid who scrubs. He's got a Discord, just like you guys do, and we'll talk about Discord in a few minutes. But he's talking about scrubbing bots for gambling sites. Like, he would scrub them, and then he'd have all. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, it's a whole different language. But it's like, and like you said, Ralph, it's a language that I think we need to start learning.
Yeah, especially someone like me, because when you said when you said scrubs, I was thinking TLC. And I was like, what are you talking about?
I don't want no scrubs. But talk a little bit about what that means, that terminology, scrubbing and bots, and tell us just, tip of the iceberg. Don't go too deep, because I'll be like, what? Like, just give us the basics.
like when you visit a website right now, right, and you click on links, that's just the front end. That's to make it easy for you or the visitor to just be able to interact with the site. But in the back end, there's a lot of things going on. So when you're writing a bot, you're bypassing all these clicking links and going to the website. You're actually going straight to the server, which is what's showing you all the stuff you're looking at.
Gotcha.
And you just go straight to the server and give it what it wants. Hey, I want this item in this size, this quantity, at this price. Here's the credit card information, all in one shot, as opposed to you having to wait for the page to load. Then you put the credit card in, then you go to the next page. The bot just puts everything all at once. It does it in like 3 to 5 seconds, and you're done.
Wow.
So
that's
how people usually circumvent. Like, if you're coming out with new sneakers and you wonder why the sneakers sell out in like 5 seconds, it's from that.
So it's like the guy who climbed in through the window instead of come through the front door.
Yeah.
It's like
off the truck.
I know, what the hell?
But okay, so let me jump over to you, Vic. So, like I said, we go back a long way. I didn't even know you're really into comics, but tell us a little bit about, and this isn't, and just to be clear, the Masked Children isn't a comic book. We talk to a lot of comic creators and stuff like that usually on the show. You guys are actually our first guests that are talking about NFTs. So this is like a first. Yeah. You guys are pioneers in this case. So tell us a little bit about your background in the art world. I know, like you said, by education, you're a social worker, but how did you get into this whole drawing and art, and where did that start?
It's craziness. It really is. It started with Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends. That did it for me right there. Back in the 80s, I knew I wanted to do something with art. Wasn't sure what. Not until my senior year of high school, I actually tore my knee, and I had no choice but to stay stationary.
Damn.
So I just started learning anatomy at that point. I was at age 17.
Damn.
And from there, I kind of got introduced to another indie comic book company called Merge Comics, and they solicited me as a colorist, and everything went from there. You know, I just started meeting more people along the way. We got to connect. There was at Big AppleCon, right before the before Comic-Con came back out again, because they were on hiatus for a little bit. And just self-taught, really. Lots and lots of books, as you can see behind me. Just real. And then once you started getting the YouTube videos, that was money at that point. So it was just really just learning and really just networking with people at that point.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Anibal is watching the show right now. Anibal Arroyo, he's one of our friends who's been working with us for a long time, and he's like, damn, that's some Agent Smith stuff, what you were talking about, Ralph, with going in there and going into the Matrix, basically, and doing all of this stuff. So you guys, how did this idea for the Masked Children, how did that happen? Like, where did that come from? And I'll either one of you guys can answer. I'm not exactly sure who came up with the idea or how did this happen.
I'll let Ralph start.
Yeah. All right. So so I got into NFTs August of 2021, and that's what and I was in there mainly flipping. That's what I was doing. I was buying, flipping, and it's I'm talking about when you get into NFTs, a day in NFTs is like a month in real life. It's like things move so fast. It's insane. But anyway, there was a project that came out called Dots. It was basically it was a stealth drop, which means they didn't announce when they were dropping. They didn't announce what they were dropping. Nothing. They just released, and people just bought it. I don't even know how they found out about it, but they bought it. It sold out, and it was essentially just like these drawings of like these little cultish looking creatures. And the art was kind of cool. It was plain, but it was it was intriguing. It was like, what is this? And then but there was no developers, so there was no the developers weren't announced. Nobody knows who they were. There was no website. There was no Twitter account. There was no Discord, nothing. So the fans created a Discord. Everybody joined, and they were trying to solve who are the artists. People were thinking it was the artist Banksy. I don't know if you guys know who Banksy is.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
people,
the British.
People thought it was him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so people thought it might have been him. So people are speculating. People are starting to solve puzzles because there was this one account that came out that started dropping these puzzles. And people were trying to solve the puzzles. They didn't know if it was the developer or if it was just a fan who just pretended to be the developer.
Wow.
And people were solving it, and people were having fun with it. And it kind of made me think, oh, why don't I create a project that's actually and revolves around actually creating puzzles and actually having some kind of direction with the puzzles. So that's where we kind of came up with that idea. So then we said, all right, that's when I reached out to Vic, and because I knew he draws, and then I was like, what do you think about, did you hear about NFTs? And that's when I started explaining it to him and all the possibilities. And he said, yeah, let's do it.
So with your background in coding, how long did it take you to transition and understand NFTs and developing them?
I mean, I heard of, because basically NFTs revolve around crypto. So I'm pretty sure everybody heard of crypto at this point. So yes, the cryptocurrency is on the blockchain. So, but it's a form of a technology that's on the blockchain. So I knew about crypto, but then I started hearing about NFTs and I started like researching it. And once I researched it, I understood it. The coding aspect wasn't really difficult to transition to, because at the end of the day, once you start coding in different programming languages, they kind of all the same. So you just got to get familiar with how the technology works, and then just writing the code is really not that crazy. So yeah, it wasn't that complicated, because I started once I got home, it was just all the way till 2 a.m, just learning it, writing it, coding it. And then you learn it quick. If you understand the technology, like I said, I was coding for about 5 years now. Yeah. So I understand how to do it. So once I got familiar with the programming language, everything was actually pretty smooth after that.
It's funny, man, because when that happened, Victor showed like some of these images that you were drawing, Vic, and I was like, yo, this thing is dope. Like, what is this? And then so I had like a million questions. I was like, yo, so Vic, what's in that? He's like, yo, dude, I honestly, I don't I don't know. I'm just drawing the shit. Like I honestly but so some of these, and for those who are watching right now, we're talking to Victor Claudio and Ralph Hernandez. We're talking about their project, The Masked Children. It is, if you go on Twitter right now and search The Masked Children, you'll see it. Follow them on Twitter. You guys are on Instagram as well. and on YouTube. So definitely, and I'm sure you'll give us all your links. We'll put them on the show notes. But the design for the masks, Vic, I want to ask you a little bit about that. Where did you get some of the inspiration for some of these cool looking freaking masks, bro? Because those things look like Halloween cosplay, things ready for like the conventions and things like that. So where did you get the inspiration for some of the looks?
I think just everyday stuff for one. But for us, the way we looked at it as we continued to kind of hash out what this project was going to look like, one of the things that Ralph came up with is he wanted to have something with children. And he was just looking through some of my sketches, and he came across a bear that I had drawn with these claws on it, like a teddy bear, kind of running, almost like a Toy Story type of a scenario. And he was like, I love that mask. Like, can we do something with masks? So that's pretty much how that all kind of came to be. So with that became the main character, which you see on our Twitter, the banner, the one who's kind of just pointing out to the rest of the kids. So he's kind of the big guy in that. And that's how that inspiration started for that piece. Then we just kind of just talked about what are some of the looks that we're going to go for. So I just got a couple of ideas from the guys, and I just went in and just started drawing, and we tweaked whatever we needed to, and that's pretty much how it came to be. But it was everyday stuff, just looking at images here and there.
And you're going digital with this one, right, Vic? Like because you're traditional, pen, paper artist. You're going digital. I mean, obviously, NFT for all those watching, NFT non-fungible transfers, right? So these things are digital images, which I want to ask you more about, Ralph, because I'm still not exactly getting it 100%. But I know you're drawing digitally now, Vic. How has the transition from traditional to digital been for you?
Because of how easy it is to just grab a pen and paper. It's a little scary. But I always did the coloring for so many years digitally. I already had a working idea of what that looked like. It was just a matter of now of drawing and inking and then coloring, which was the challenge. So I still didn't completely get away from it. I still draw my sketch on paper, put it in the computer system, and then I draw over it. So I can't let it go altogether, but it was a little nerve-wracking, a little scary, a lot of troubleshooting, trying to figure out things, and a lot of YouTube videos.
What tools are you using digitally to illustrate?
Right now, I'm using Clip Studio Paint, which is fantastic because that's what it's designed for comic books. Right. And we were talking about this before, George. So I went from doing Photoshop, which again at the time was definitely working for me on what I needed to do, but this particular program, it caters to what we've been always doing for years. So and everything's like right there.
And what kind of tablet are you using?
I'm actually using a Surface Pro.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember when you started tagging me on your first images, I didn't know what you were sending me at first. I wasn't sure. Was this a comic? Is he promoting something? Because you would just send it, and I'm like, all right, well, I would put cool or whatever. And then when I saw what you're doing, I was talking to George about it. It's like, wow, these guys are getting ahead of the curve, which is pretty smart. Yeah.
So Ralph, real quick. So I'm going to tell you what I think NFTs are, and then you tell me if I'm like completely off and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I'm going to use an example. For example, okay, so the Mona Lisa, right? What makes the Mona Lisa priceless is that there's only one Mona Lisa and nobody can ever replicate it. It's one of its kind. What makes an NFT valuable is how many times it's flipped. That's what gives it its value. So not the fact that it's one of a kind, is how many times was it transferred over. Am I kind of like on the right track, or like should I just shut the fuck up and let you just explain it? Like,
I gotta put the damn TVMA sign on.
Sorry. I'm blowing up my own show.
No, it's that, but it still is, yes, one. It's still the value. It might be the one of one, because let's think about it like this: the world is gravitating towards digital anyway. So right now we're talking about paper, drawing something on paper and actually having it be valuable. Let's say Todd McFarlane is drawing let's say just a custom picture for you, a rendition of Spider-Man, whatever, and then he signs it, and then he gives it to you. That's valuable because he signed it. But then let's say he turns around and he draws a digital version of it and he signs that and gives it to you. Why would the one on paper be worth more than the one on the digital version? And how do you verify the digital one compared to the physical one? Because the one on physical paper, you can have it authenticated. You can see it's the actual ink, check the actual signature. But the digital one, I could just right-click, save it, and copy it a million times, and it'll be exactly the same, pixel by pixel. So there's really no way to verify that that digital version is the one that he actually signed, that he drew on his huge, surface, whatever he has. And so how would you make that valuable then? Because as we go digital, more and more digital, people want those collectibles, those one-of-ones, those assigned digital comic, because everything, like I said, is starting to go digital, and it's not going to stop. I mean, they're still going to print comics, but it's still going digital. So people still want those scarce collectibles. How do you make that a one-of-one that's collectible? And that's where NFTs come in, because now the NFTs will be kind of like, you could view it like a digital title to a car, or just like a title to a car, for instance. The NFT is not the car itself. The NFT is just proof of ownership that this belongs to this person, and this is what it is. An NFT is like a title to an image. This image is the real image from the actual artist. This is the proof. There's maybe 10 of them. Let's say there's 10 of 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's serial numbered like that on that block. So if you go to, let's say, flip that image because it was signed by Todd McFarlane, you're basically selling the NFT along with the image. The image doesn't really matter because it could be printed, it could be saved a million times. But that NFT is that one-of-one, because that's the NFT that Todd McFarlane hired a developer to create, and that belongs to that smart contract. So you know that that's the official one that Todd McFarlane created.
Gotcha.
So you're flipping that with the image. And the image, like I said, doesn't matter. You save it you could print it a million times, but nobody else has that NFT. And it could be proven because it's on the blockchain, and the blockchain cannot be changed. That's when you start getting real technical. But that's essentially what the NFT is. So it's a digital proof of ownership, and it makes a digital asset scarce. And there's other things in too, like you said, with the flipping. I can explain that later with the royalties.
So everyone's just flipping numbers, symbols. Everyone's just flipping codes.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's not right. Yeah, they basically are. They're flipping an artist. But right now,
the digital signature. It's like your DNA. Your DNA for we all have our unique DNA that we can identify our blood type or your fingerprint. Basically, that's what they're flipping. That identification for this body. So my fingerprint will say that this human body that fingerprint belongs to me. So that's what you guys are doing, is just flipping that signature over and over again, because that's more valuable than the art, which is interesting.
Yeah, because the art, like I said, there's nothing. Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Victor?
Vic, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that in a nutshell, it's a contract. Really, you're
right.
It's a contract attached to that image.
Right. Yeah, it's like you were saying, Ralph. It's the title to a car. The car doesn't matter who owns the car, because if you don't have that piece of paper, that car's not yours. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have a title to a car, that car does not belong to you, even though it's a car that I'm driving this car, dude, it's mine. No, it's not yours. You're driving the car, but that
like a deed to a house.
I got you.
Right.
I got you.
So
so that's what the NFTs are.
So your illustrations have commercial appeal. I'm looking at the way you illustrate. Very fantastic art. You guys are putting out some good stuff. So Anibal has a question. He says, "Are you guys planning to make a project into other media like comics or animation with what you're doing with that brand?"
Yeah, so we did speak on the comic book portion of things, and depending on the direction everything goes, I think this would be a phenomenal cartoon.
Incredible.
Anime, I think it would be sick to watch that as an animation. So these are things that we did talk about, and things that we would love for it to see go the direction. But yes, as far as a comic book, that's something we've been talking about creating as well, and actually going to start working on that piece once we get all the writing in place.
So I haven't looked at your website, my bad, but are you guys super creating shirts for those images, or and try to go merchandising with that?
That's another direction we've spoken about as well, because again, those are images that we think would be hot. I think right now the biggest thing that we're working on is just the marketing piece of things. Really trying to get that fan base and that following, which is pretty tough. So that's where we are right now with it. So while we're doing that, we're continuing to work on what we need to in the back end of things. I continue to draw images so that people know, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. Just trying to give a little glimpse of what this world looks like.
Yeah, and I know that there's 3 of you on the team, and I just want to give a big shout out to JJ, who's not with us. What is JJ's involvement? At JJ Claudio, what's his involvement with the project? What does he do on the project?
You want to take it, Ralph, or?
Yeah, he mainly handles the Discord, the communications and stuff like that. He's like, I'm the developer, Vic's the artist, and Jay's more like the handling of the community and the Discord and the media, Twitter accounts and everything like that.
The media guy.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, because Discord is huge amongst whether it's gamers and even like Generation Z. I'm gonna like these, they're big on the Discord. Where like me, an old head, I'm like, oh yeah, Instagram, and I get excited about that. These kids are like TikTok and freaking and doing that kind of stuff. How has the people, how are they responding to what you guys are doing? Did you find what you were kind of looking for when you saw the dots, Ralph, with what you guys are doing? Are you trending in that direction? Where are you guys now with that?
Yeah, with the thing about it is the way that the NFT industry is, at least, it's basically on to the next flip. It's basically a flip project, which is tough because we don't want to be viewed like that. A lot of projects, they put a lot of money into marketing, get everybody into the Discord, they sell out, and then they kind of just disappear. And they just, that's it. The project kind of dies out. I mean, look at the developers for dots. I actually looked at the price right now. Some of them are selling for $0. Wow. And I remember when they were selling for like, $3,000-$4,000 each. Now they're selling for nothing. Here.
Damn.
Because the developers were not around. Now, to be fair, the developers never were around to begin with. So you kind of were speculating at it because there was no developers. You can't really be mad at them. They never said they were going to do anything. They just released it. You minted it. That's on you. Right. But that's essentially what happened. So now they're worth nothing. But a lot of projects are doing that, and that's kind of like what we're trying to avoid. Unfortunately, it kind of gets everybody up into the FOMO. Or let's go to the next one, So we're trying to like avoid that. So it's, we're getting people in, but it's just everybody's just trying to make money. That's so right. we're kind of focusing on the brand and trying to build up to the storyline and get kind of worry about that and not worry too much about trying to get the people who are trying to flip. We're trying to get actual fans involved. So that's kind of like what we're working on. But yeah, it's not doing what dots is, because dots is actually going backwards, which is not what we wanted, and that's why we kind of built the project, because we wanted to keep working with the community and show that we're still developing, as opposed to dots. They ain't doing nothing.
So that leads me to the next question, because you primarily you're a web developer, a coder. Victor, you're an illustrator. And now you guys are putting on your business caps to become, marketing, PR people, right? So in this, you're tackling a world that you just identified as a fast-moving comet, right? So how do you catch the wave of the comet, and what are your steps to marketing yourselves and to try to build that audience? What are you targeting? What's your approach? What do you see yourselves 12 months from now with the plan that you have in place?
Right. So the bigger part for us was just trying to get the ball rolling enough to kind of get some steam. So that's where we are right now with that piece. So we have some people in our Discord that are really appreciating what we're doing, and they really want to see how this is all gonna or what it's gonna morph into. And we're excited to bring that. But the bigger piece that we're finding out is that we need a bigger presence on a Twitter. Like, that's a huge space for the NFT world. And it's actually a really awesome community. It's almost like another full-time job right now that I feel like I'm doing, just interacting with people and just getting to learn who they are and kind of letting them know who we are as people. So that's kind of where we are right now. As far as trying to figure out those next steps. And although things are moving fast, I'm also noticing that in this Twitter space, and all the individuals that are collecting the NFTs and so on and so forth, they want a strong community. They want that community feel. They want that family environment,
Right.
even though they flip some of this stuff. But if the community is big enough for them and they feel strong and tied to the community, they don't want to give up their NFTs because they want to see what's next. They want to be part of that. And that's one of the big things that I'm finding out now. So really it's coming down to kind of getting the temperature and the climate of the people and what they're looking for right now, and how that translates to us so that we can formulate a stronger plan of attack on how that works. So right now it's really kind of feeling out the space, especially for me, not even knowing what the space was really about, right? Or really what it entailed. Because me, I'm happy with a pencil and paper and I'll do that all day. But once I got to this other part, I'm like, oh damn, like what do you do with this? That's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So really learning the temperature right now, I think, in the climate, Sam, is really where we're at with some of this stuff.
I definitely want to talk to you guys about the Masked Children a little more, just what it is about. But before we move into that, Ralph, real question. I know you had mentioned royalties, right, on these NFTs. So can you just break that down a little bit? What it means, what royalties mean in the NFT world? Is it the same from what we normally think of as royalties? Or talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, since NFTs are associated with a contract and it's proof of ownership, you know who owns each individual NFT. You can literally find it on the blockchain. All right, this account owns this NFT. This account owns this NFT. So the contract controls everything that happens with that NFT. So if I mint the NFT, which means I just bought it on the drop, and then I sold it to Vic, and then Vic sold it to you, and then you sold it to this guy, the blockchain keeps track of every single transaction. And you could go on the blockchain and see it. You can see it is open to the public. Since you can track it, how much it went, how much it sold for, who it went to, you can attach a royalty to these NFTs. So let's say I sold the NFT for $40, but then a year later I become big and I blow up, and now that NFT, my first NFT, is worth a lot of money now. So that person then flips it for, let's say, $1,000. But I attached in my contract a 10% royalty. So when he flipped it for $1,000, he gets netted $900. I get sent $100 directly to my wallet. No middleman. Then the person he sold it to flips it for $10,000. He gets $9,000 net. I get $1,000 sent to my account automatically. No middleman. So think about how revolutionary that is in the comic book industry, where you could just do everything independent and all the payments get sent automatically. All those NFTs get flipped constantly, and you're getting a royalty every time it flips. That gives you an incentive to build a community and make those NFTs worth something, because if they're worth something, people are going to flip them because people are going to want them, and you're going to make money every time. So you're going to make money on your old work over and over and over forever, as long as you make it worth something. So if you attach certain perks with your NFT, if you own this NFT, maybe 3 times a week, you get to FaceTime with me for 30 minutes. Maybe you get to come to me at Comic-Con once a year, depending on which version of that NFT you have. Maybe I have some rare NFTs. Maybe the first 10 come with exclusive access to me during Comic-Con. You can stay in my booth with me. Maybe there's just like so many things you could do with NFTs to make them valuable and make people feel like they're a part of something. You can even give them a percentage of the royalty if you're using their money from the NFT sale to do your startup. To start up and actually grow, maybe you give them 10% of the first issue of your comic. For the first year of the profits, you give them 10%. Why not? I mean, they gave you the money to start up to begin with. Why not give them 10%? Most people are giving up more than that when they go to a publisher. So
you know what,
if you could do that, it might make sense.
You know what your problem is? You've thrown out so many Easter eggs that you got my mind spinning right now. All right, you were just dropping nuggets, focused. And I'm like, yo. I was like, I had a question. That's like, wait, I got a question about that. It's like so much crap going on. My head's spinning.
Smoke coming.
I'm like, what the fuck? So and I'm sure we could do a part 2 to this, but I don't know if you guys. What are the tax implications? He can understand with the business hat on. What are the tax implications for origin sale to a royalty sale? Has that been implemented yet? Because I know the government's been cracking down on all this stuff and trying to put some things in place. But is it based on the state that it was sold? How does that work in the crypto world?
It's a little. It depends. All right. So let's say for NFTs, I sell an NFT. I get the money for the NFT. The money, as soon as I get, let's say most NFTs are sold on Ethereum. That's a blockchain. That's a cryptocurrency. So you're getting paid in ETH. So I get whatever ETH I get. whatever the value of ETH is at the time that I received those funds, that's what they're valuing the ETH at. So if ETH is at 4,000 each, and I got 300 ETH, 4,000 is what it is.
Excuse me, what the hell's ETH?
That's cryptocurrency.
It's like I just came to the hood. I've never been to the hood in my life, and they're throwing out Ebonics. I'm like, yo, what? It's like, hold on.
Ether is the cryptocurrency for Ethereum. Ethereum is the blockchain network.
All
that
right.
particular network is what supports smart contracts. You can't write smart contracts on Bitcoin, at least not now, but you can write them on Ethereum. That's what made Ethereum. Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency in the world. Bitcoin is number one. Ethereum is number two. Ethereum became so big because you could put smart contracts on here, which is what we're talking about right now. You could put basically you can view an NFT or smart contract as programmable money. You're writing a program that tells the money what to do when certain situations happen. That's it.
Gotcha.
You sell this token. If he sells it to this guy, make sure you take 10% and send it to the creator. He gets this, and it keeps track of everything. That's what that smart contract is. You're programming the money to do whatever.
Somebody's got to be smart because I'm dumb right now.
Yeah,
this is what the bloody hell? Yeah, but I mean, you know your stuff, and I'm just what happens is, and I Gilbert saying I was going to say what's up, but listening to all the info I just spilled, he just spilled. I think I need to check myself into a psychiatric ward. But I think what happens as far as newbies, we're hearing this for the first time. See, I think that's what. Congratulations to you first off, because it is so complex and there's so many moving parts and there's so many layers to this. To go in there and dive in head first and tackle it, it's kudos to you guys for what you're doing. It's inspiring. For guys like us, initially, I remember being hit up by everybody saying, "Sam, you need to go this route." And when I started trying to educate myself, my head was spinning. I say, I got to dedicate like 30 uninterrupted days for me to understand this. So it's like, I don't have the time just yet. Again, congratulations to you guys. And so just can you just elaborate on the whole tax implication again for anybody out there who's interested in NFTs? How does it work? Because we never think about the business side. We always think about the artistic side, the creative side, but the business side is the most important part of it because that can make or break somebody.
I mean, the tax implications are no different than any other. You're basically getting paid, instead of getting paid in cash, you're getting paid in a cryptocurrency. And the way the government views it is that because cryptocurrency is volatile. I mean, it just like today, it just dropped like 20% or something like that, crazy from the price it was at before. Probably not today, but within the last month, it dropped like maybe 20%, something like that. So it's very volatile, but that's also how people make a lot of money. And you hear about those crypto millionaires is because they're willing to stomach the volatility. But anyway, since it's so volatile, the price yesterday is different from today. So the government views it as the day you got paid, whatever that price was at that time is what's going to be considered the US dollar version that you got. So if Ethereum or Ether is at 4,000 and you just say you just got one Ether, they're going to view it as equivalent to you getting $4,000 in cash. No different. Whether you sell it or not, it doesn't matter. You got it. You don't have to sell it. The fact that you received it, it's viewed as you got $4,000 in cash. That's what it was worth.
So you're being taxed on something you never received.
Well, you received Ether, but they view Ether as they still view it as getting money because otherwise people would just never, they'll use Ether to buy a bunch of digital stuff and they will never pay since the government's not going to let that happen.
So what is
they're viewing it as you receive it.
What is the conversion rate? Right. Dollar to cryptocurrency. What's the conversion rate?
Whatever. There's really no conversion rate. The only thing
so it's a dollar.
Is going to be the fee
is it equal to how many crypto? Whatever.
So like I say, one Ether right now, I can tell you right now. Right now, one Ether I think is $3,500. So if you get paid one Ether at $3,500, that's what it is. One Ether is equal to $3,500.
Is that the same for Bitcoin?
This morning it was worth $3,700.
Is that the same for Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is like $44,000 right now.
It almost sounds like what the stock market does every day. And I think that people are like, oh man, like crypto, that just sounds crazy. Like I think I picture this, like imagine being back in back in the day when they were still using gold coins and somebody came out and said this piece of paper is gonna be is $1 or $2, and everybody's like, no, gold is what's valuable. No, this piece of paper is what's valuable now, and they had to change that mindset and say, oh, paper now is money. That's what's money now, and I think that's what this is right now. We're at a point where like this paper now it's going to be worth something. It's worth something now, but this cryptocurrency is what the wave of the future is going to be. And I think a lot of us are like, wait, nah, that sounds crazy. But it's almost like what's probably going to end up happening at the end of the day.
It's already happening because if you go to promote on TikTok, they want you to pay in Bitcoin. And
they
I'm like,
don't let you do it.
I'm like 2,000 Bitcoins. I was like, to start, I'm like, what? I said, what happened to the dollar? What the hell? I was like, I got pesos.
Well, you got to remember too, cryptocurrency's been out for over 10 years now. It's been Bitcoin came out in 2009, so it's really not new. It's new in the sense of like people are kind of recognizing it, but it's been around for a very long time. So if it was going to go somewhere, it should have went somewhere a long time ago. It's not. It's over 10 years now, and it's actually getting stronger, especially with the advent of NFTs. And you got to think about it. Big companies are already getting into NFTs. Pepsi dropped an NFT. Nike bought an NFT company. Adidas did a collab with Bored Ape Yacht Club. They do an NFT. Big companies are already doing NFTs. They're not.
Yeah, I think
Disney
Sony
already dropped an NFT with the Simpsons. Yeah, they already did an NFT for that.
Yeah, when the Spider-Man movie was coming out, Sony had an NFT for those who bought the ticket for the first night. They were sending them an NFT. AMC did it. Yeah. So there are a lot of companies that are jumping on board with it. But we can do a whole show on this. I definitely want to talk a little bit more about the Masked Children, because I love the title of the book, and I know Sam's like, yo, I got a million questions, but like honestly,
we're definitely gonna get you guys back on, and we're gonna help promote the hell out of you guys, but and really deep dive into it, because I see that based on the comments, there's a lot of people interested in what you guys have to say. But let's talk about the Masked Children. Because I'll put on my business hat and I'll just go in, and you and I can talk all day. But let's, for the sake of promoting what you guys are doing, talk about the idea for it and the approach to all of your images.
Yeah, I love the title, guys. Like the Masked Children, and I know that when in speaking with Vic, you told me kind of like a little bit of the premise. So just drop that a little bit on people. Let us know a little bit what the Masked Children is about and what it is.
See, we can't give away too much for that, only because of the way we've worked. We work this out to be the puzzles and things like that. So we can't say much because it leads into what the story is about. But in a nutshell, it's the way we have it on our Discord and the way we present it to everybody is to let them know there was an unknown virus that occurred, right? And that's the way we left it, which about 2010, 2011, that affected 15,000 fetuses. And only 7,000 of them were kind of smuggled out of purgatory, if you will. So there's that piece of it that we have to build on. I mean, we know where it's going and what it looks like, but from there we have the our detective Pete Moss, who's the one who is gathering the evidence. This is where the creepypasta comes in, which is the stories on YouTube. This is where the puzzles in the Discord come in, and this is like the one-shot drawings that I do. All of these are for a reason, right? Gotcha. They all have something that's part of the story, and depending on the puzzle that we have coming out or what we need our audience to look for through Detective Pete Moss and what he's doing as far as gathering evidence and needing the help to do so. Those are the different areas that you need to pay attention to, keep track of. So all the content we're putting out there is all tying into what we're doing, even though they're one-shot standalone type of stories and things like that. They don't necessarily affect the story per se. It's building on the story. So you get a good idea of who these children really are and what they're capable of. But the actual story behind it slowly gets unveiled as we continue to kind of tease our audience with some of the information.
So what's the conversations sound like between you guys from like concept to sketch to final? What's it sound like? You guys just throwing ideas on the wall and then you go and conceptualize and then you review it together? How does it work? What's the collaboration look like between you guys?
A lot of texting, a lot of those midnight phone calls, right? And yes, it starts off with that idea. So again, we know where we're going with the story. So it's like, what if we do this to kind of shed a little light on this? So if you listen to like Crying Baby, which is one of the stories on Creepypasta, that kind of gives you an idea of somehow the children came to be if you really listen to what that story is saying, without giving away, what's going on.
Just for the sake of, I didn't realize that your YouTube channel is the same name.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so Anibal Royal, the YouTube channel is the same name. So you can just search it, The Masked Children, and you'll get to it. So talk about the name and image. Where do you pull your inspiration for each image and each illustration?
So as far as the images and illustrations are concerned, again, it was just an idea. So it was us sitting at the round table and saying, it'd be a good idea. What if we did a mask like this or something like this? Then of course I go in there and I'm not gonna just keep it at plain Jane that way. So I think about, okay, so I take that idea and how can we twist it? Much like we do in comic books, right? And creating and trying to create a little something different for that world. And that's kind of how that was. So it's just a matter of getting that idea, that concept, bouncing the ideas off each other, just kind of saying, okay, so these are kids that are roaming the streets. These are the kids that are kind of want to instill fear in people just by a look. Like, what are some of the images we can just throw out there that would make that that feeling, right, without the words. Trying to get that image out there to invoke that feeling. So that's kind of some of what that kind of led to some of those images, was just how can I create that feeling a little bit more. And for JJ, and unfortunately he's not here for this, but one of the ideas that he had for it was the black eyes. So that's pretty much how we got this virus. Like, how can we explain the black eyes? So again, as the story unfolds, you'll know exactly what that means and what that looks like at the end of the day. But it was just, okay, so how do we make those black eyes more prevalent? If you put a mask on someone and all you see is these piercing black eyes, and then you're like, what the hell's on the face? Wait a minute, that's not a face.
Right.
That just adds to the mystery of it.
And for those who are watching, we're talking to Victor Claudio and Ralph Hernandez, the creative team behind The Masked Children. And when you talk about black eyes, if you guys if you go on Twitter and you check out The Masked Children, the masks have like these cool designs on it, but the black eyes you're talking about are the eyes, literally the eyes on the masks. They're all black. All of them are black. So if anybody's confused, like, what the hell is he talking about, black eyes? Yeah, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. These are the black eyes on the masks. But yeah, dude, like, I'm enjoying like I was telling you guys earlier, the YouTube channel where it's like a reading of a story. Who comes up with these stories? Like, what's the creative mindset behind these stories being written and read out loud like that? Because that's really cool, man. Because you sit there, I'm driving sometimes, I'm like, oh, that sounds dope. Like, it's kind of creepy. Like, it's creepy too, because it's meant to be. So who writes some of these things, and you guys take turns reading them? Like, who's recording all this stuff?
I give that one to Ralph.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Yeah, I mean, me and Vic are the ones who are primarily writing it. I'm the one who's narrating every single one of them, so that's me. That's the microphone right here. But yeah,
tools of the trade, right there.
So I'm the one that's narrating it, but me and Vic are the ones who are writing the actual stories. We just sit here and I kind of get an idea of how these are going to be narrated, so I try to write based on that it's going to be read. So I try not to write it exactly like a book. I don't want to keep saying he said, she said constantly, but more or less, I know how I'm supposed to do it, and I just change my tone depending on what I'm saying, leave more suspense. I used to listen to creepypastas before, so I know exactly how it worked. So I thought that'll be cool if we just did that. So we just did it. I thought just throw something different that nobody really even would expect.
It works, man. It works. Yeah, no, it does work. It does work.
The stories were just an idea. So if you take a look at one of the images that I had drawn, the little girl lurking out of the tall grass.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So that's an image that I just drew because I just said, all right, so what if? And I had told Ralph this when I drew it, and JJ, I'm like, just what if you have this little freaking girl just coming out of this tall grass, just approaching a house that's behind on the other end of that, just the way she was. And so Ralph took that image and he created, I believe it's the last installment so far that we have recorded, because I know there's another story that we have that's not recorded yet. But it's just one idea, one word, just again, trying to invoke that feeling of just what are these kids capable of? How can we make this a little bit more creepy?
Yeah. Yo, Ralph, so real quick question, man. Do you turn off the lights and like really get like, how do you set the mood for your readings, bro? Because you're honestly like, you sound real creepy when you're reading these things. And the thing, I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, do you turn off the lights? Like, what do you do? Light a candle? Like, what are you doing over there? Like, how do you set it up?
I definitely have to get people out the house because I gotta like focus. I sometimes I don't even proofread. I just read it and I know what part I'm gonna, raising up. But no, I don't really. I just focus. I know what I'm gonna do. I know how I'm gonna say it. I read it, and then I just go to editing, done, and then I put it up. Usually I record it in a day and I'm out, maybe less than a day. The hard part is the writing of the story because I'm not. Most of these creepypastas that you hear online is other people's stories. They'll go to Reddit, they'll ask the author for permission, and then they'll just read it. We're writing it and reading it, so that makes it a little more time consuming because we have to actually write it focused on our actual project. Yeah. And then so that's the time consuming part. The recording it, I do it because I'm already like so used to it. I just get it done.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. You guys, and kudos to your writing. I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job writing these things. I mean, honestly, I really could see this printed in like a short story book. Like I'm all here old school. Like, yeah, print it and sell it as a book. Like you guys are like, yeah, nah, dude. Digital NFTs, bro. That's what we're talking about. But I'm like, yo, put a cover on that bitch, sell it. Nah, it's good stuff, guys. Honestly, we definitely gonna have to have you guys back for part 2, and honestly, Ralph, pick your brain some more about what you're talking about with the NFTs and stuff like that. Because listen, as much as we try to say no, it's coming, dude, and you might as well be ready. You might, it's almost like with Sam, like drawing digitally, and even with Vic, right? Drawing digitally, it's coming, dude. Like, learn it, just learn it.
Basically,
bro,
it's what? It's Amazon and Blockbuster, right? Amazon was coming, and Blockbuster didn't see the trend.
Netflix killed
Blockbuster.
Netflix killed it.
Amazon killed everybody else, but you know what I'm saying? Amazon, you think you're tough? Watch this, boom. But no, you guys are doing your thing. It's very impressive, inspiring for all of the comic or even artists and creators out there who are trying to figure this whole game out. You guys are a step ahead of the curve. Kudos to you and much success to what you guys are doing.
Big time, man. Big time. And Vic, thanks so much for being on.
I'll say this with I'm sorry, let me just say this last part. So just for the artists that are listening. Everybody thought the internet was a fad. Everybody thought social media was a fad. When social media came out, everybody was wondering who's going to care about what I ate for dinner, who's going to care about my family, why am I going to be friends with this person? But now everybody has a social media account, right? Now you're crazy if you don't have one. Back in the days, you were crazy if you did. So eventually it looks weird until it's not anymore. NFTs are not going anywhere. They're going to keep going. So artists, independents, they honestly should really look into NFTs and really take a deep dive. You don't have to do it, but if you really do the research, it's going to be worth it because NFTs, the one thing it does is it gets rid of the middleman and it makes the independent person independent. They control their own money. That's what makes cryptocurrency so interesting. You have control over it. You don't have to wait for the check to come in the mail. This person's handling this. You don't got to get 50%, 30%, whatever. You control everything and you can work directly with your fans. You sell the NFTs directly to your fans and then they fund your project and you could reward them as opposed to having to reward the publisher or whatever. So that's something that any indie artist should honestly really, really research NFTs because it ain't going anywhere. And eventually it's going to be here and you're going to be like, oh, damn, I should have paid attention.
Yeah. No, well said. Ralph, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on. I know we were supposed to do this earlier. I think it was like last year in December we were supposed to do it, and I got caught up at the airport and all that nonsense. But no, thank you so much for coming on. And listen, you guys, whenever you guys want to come on, whenever you guys want to promote something, Ralph, you want to do a reading live on the show, bro, let's go for it. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, my man, listen, thank you so much, guys, for coming on, and we'll talk soon. And hope JJ feels better, and maybe he'll be on next time.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having us.
You got it.
All right.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Peace.
No doubt. Later, fellas. All right. You got it, man. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, fellas.
You got it. All right.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. I mean, it's shit. I swear to you, I became a student. I was just sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? And every time he spoke, I'm like, yo, slow down for a second. I'm trying to write. I can't write as fast. I was like, yes. Yo,
so much, bro. So much.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, these guys are doing their thing. I mean, but again, when you talk about all those layers, it isn't just an NFT. When he started talking about the ether and the blockchains and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, all these things to a novice, you're looking at it like, oh, what the hell? No, I'm gonna stay over here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. This is safe. But they're not playing it safe. They're playing it smart.
Nah, it's like what he said at the end too. It's part of being an indie, right? It's taking these, just jumping in there and just taking these risks, and it is. I mean, it sounds like a risk, right? Because like, okay, this is not real money. Like, where's my money? How am I getting paid for this stuff? And it's like, well, it's like the stock market, right? Where's your money? You don't really get paid until you cash out. As long as you're in it, you have all this money, but it's not really there until you cash it out. And I know that sounds very, basic, and I'm probably, half of it is wrong. But I think that, like he said, you have to go in it with an open mind. Do the research. Like he said, you don't have to do it, but it's not going anywhere. So what are we doing?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, I think what happens is when you're creative, it's just another business hat you have to put on, right? So most creatives struggle with just trying to be an independent business person where they just want to draw or write or color. They don't want to wear all those other hats. Now, here's another hurdle that you have to try to climb, another hill you have to climb to. It's like, oh, man, I just want to create, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. And I think the ones that are going to, the ones that are gonna pay, they're gonna get paid in dividends is the ones who are ahead of the curve. Because what's gonna happen is when the rest of us catch up, there's gonna be something else. It'll be virtual coin. It'll be something that's going to come out of nowhere. And, we're going to be late to the dance. We're going to get to the prom. Everybody's leaving. They're going to the beach. And we got there. We got our dancing shoes on. Everybody got their swim trunks on. I was like, where's everybody?
What are you doing, dude?
You know what I'm saying?
The party's over. We're going over here now. You're late.
That's the hard part, because while he says this stuff's been out for 10 years to the public, I mean, they started making noise about a year ago with this whole thing. You know what I mean? So, we're still new to this dance.
Yeah, man. Nah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And it's funny because my nephew, he's into the arts, and he's got his own thing going. Lotto C is his name, and he's doing a lot of digital work now. He's doing a lot of that stuff, and he's thinking about getting into NFTs, and he's doing the research for NFTs. Now, this is an 18, 19-year-old boy who is ready for that. And that's his future. Like, these NFTs are his future. We're the old heads who are like, nah, man, I want to use this, and I want to use my pen, and it's like, I want to print comics. And you see the prices of printing a comic book. Like, it's crazy, bro.
I just had to do a re-up on a Forbidden. I mean, the prices are expensive.
They're getting up there, and then with the paper shortages that they're talking about and all this other stuff, and there's just a lot going on with the old school way of printing and doing things, where you kind of have to look into some other ways.
Which is why when he said selling NFTs at a Comic-Con, I was like, all right, brother, how? How do you display it? How do you sell it? How does that transaction look like? What does the visuals look like? All that stuff. I was like, yo, do you have a barcode? What's up, Krista in the his house?
Oh, Krista made it. All right. Welcome back. Where you been?
I know, right? But yeah, so I was like, wait. That's when I was like, wait, yo, hold on. Now you bringing this virtual world to the reality. How do you display that stuff? Do you have one of those QR codes? How does it work?
It's almost like, and we were joking about the Matrix. It's almost like forget what you know, because it doesn't work that way. Basically, it's I'm selling this NFT to you, and I'm attaching other things to it. For example, it is valuable now because this NFT gave you the ability to come with me to a convention.
Yeah.
It gave you the ability to do this at a convention. Not that that's what I sold at a convention, but and it's hard for us to kind of comprehend that concept because we don't live in that world. He's in another space.
He was running, and I was like, "Yo, take off your sneakers. Take off your sneakers and walk with me."
Because, like he said, it's like time is warped in his world, right? Like a month to him is, it's a whole different. So it's interesting as hell, man. And I love that. I think that part of being creative is having an open mind, and you need to just have an open mind. Do your research.
It comes back to it really holds true to the whole thing about work smarter, not harder. I think NFT, if you master the whole fundamentals behind it, you can truly reap the benefits of it. Number one, it's commercial viability is the next part of it, right? Just because you create an NFT doesn't mean it's going to be appealing and that there's going to be a demand for it. So I think that's the next part. How do you market yourself? Because the bigger brands they got the marketing power, they got the reach, they got all that stuff. All they have to do is Pepsi has to say, I got an NFT, and everyone's like, I want that. Nike's got to say, I want it. Now, Joe Schmo from the corner, I got an NFT. Who the hell are you? Right? So how do you market that? How do you get commercial appeal? So there's layers to this conversation, and which is why I think, one of the things I'm going to look into, and I think it'll benefit our audience, is finding somebody who actually is skilled at marketing NFTs and bring them on the show and get them to talk about what are the steps for a novice to really get out there. Is and it could definitely benefit Victor and his crew and what they're doing as well. Krista says, we live in a new world, guys. A world of shortages, click mentality, social justice that takes away your creative liberties, and you have to diversify on the spot. I know. It's quick.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta adjust.
Yeah, hell yeah. I need to talk about pesos. Give me pesos, please. Dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar bills ain't worth jack anymore. I'm telling you, when I try to run an ad on TikTok and they wanted Bitcoin, I was like, I don't have Bitcoin. I got dollars. I said, how do you? I was like,
I'm telling you, mind blown, bro. Mind blown. Oh man, it was so good though. It was good to talk to the guys. It was nice. Listen, Vic is doing some incredible work with the Masked Children. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork. If you guys, we're gonna have all the links to the Discord, to all the stuff, to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the link to their website is in the summary. So if you want to check out their website, everything you can go to all the places from there.
Yes.
So just go in the summary, hit their website, and these guys are doing their things. I'm very proud. Victor's come a long way. Remember he was just an aspiring colorist, and now he's a social worker, and he's in the NFT pool, and we're still primitive civilians trying to freaking figure out the next step. Jeez.
Yeah, man. Well, when he hit me with that, I'm doing this. I'm like, what you doing? Wait, what is that? What are we doing? What NFT? What does that mean? Like, I had so many freaking questions, and I get it. Like, it's very, because of the way that their project is kind of it's designed to keep you guessing, so they can't really tell you what all of it is about, because it unfolds as you follow it. So I get that. I understand why they did that. But no. And we're definitely going to have them back. And, thank you, everyone who came on and participated and listened. I know some of you were like, what? What the hell's going on?
You're not alone.
Gilbert had the best.
You're not alone. I thought I was smart until today. I was like, no, gotta go back to school. So, if you are a PR person or somebody who markets NFTs, we'd love to have you on your show. If you're listening, whether it's on iHeartRadio or Spotify, if you're listening, hit us up on Cast the Craze. We'd love to have you on the show. And if you are having success with NFTs as a creative, we'd love to have you on the show. I think it'll be great to talk. How do you not know about non-fungible tokens, George? We were business majors. See, that's how ignorant I am. She said it's fungible. I thought it was fundable.
Because we were business majors back in 1999 and shit like that. Not 2009. See, Chris comes in. It's just look, dollar bills, y'all.
I know.
But no. Very, very, very informative and
futuristic. Thank you. Yes, futuristic. It is very futuristic. Boba Hob. Thank you. Yeah. It's I had to look it up, but Vic is futuristic, bro. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Fantastic conversation. It really, what a way to come back in the new year. Our first guest, live guest, and what a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. It really inspired me to go and start digging into the literature and start educating myself on that stuff. Because I have ideas. I would love to do, NFTs for Disneyland in my toilet. I just got to educate myself. So, man, if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching or listening wherever you are around the world, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, everybody. In 2021, we got us to 500 subscribers. We're at 504. Thank you. Now the road to 1,000. Help these young lads, these old school primitive lads that we are get monetized, so we can pay these monthly bills that we get from the internet hosts and servers and all that stuff. But and if again you want to be a guest on the show, you have to go to crazycomics.com and hit us up there. And again, if to be on the show, you just need a bio, a press kit, headshot, and reference material for research purposes. Have that already when you hit us up, and we'll get you on the show. I'm excited. Don't forget, George's landing page for Wonder Duck is live now. It's also in the summary, so click on and hit up George's The Adventures of Wonder Duck. It launches in May. And if you haven't signed up already for There's Needle in My Toilet, the landing page is live. It's also in the summary. Sign up for the launch of There's Needle in My Toilet. You get to meet Duty from Uranus. And it's going to be one. Don't drink anything when you're reading the book because you're going to spill it on somebody, laugh out loud. So anything from you, George?
Nah, man. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. Welcome back. We'll be back next week with another show. This one will air this Friday again, so you'll get it. If you missed it, it's on the channel, so check it out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you for commenting throughout. Big shout out to Crystal, who's back, Anibal, Michael Sammartino, Gilbert, Rodriguez, who stopped by, said hello. Ted Davies, thank you so much for coming on. Miss Reina 1000, thank you for joining us. Naben Hopcob, who's been on here. Thank you guys. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yes. So with that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
I'm George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, Lord.
He described me. He said, I'm the...
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.